just getting ready to take off. Just heading out to my older brother's for gonna have a little stay over, and my younger brother's gonna meet me there. So finally the three of us are gonna get to go for a bike ride here for maybe a day or two. It's gonna be great. Been looking forward to this for a long time. Weather seems like it's gonna cooperate finally, so this should be great. Calgary's a great place to live. However, like any big city, it means having to get on the freeways in order to get out of town and find some better riding on the scenic secondary highways. Coming up on your left is the Wright Brethren Church Colony. For those of you who watched last year's video, this is where I got stranded on my way home. Today I'm just getting my trip started, so fortunately I made it past this point. I'm descending into this lovely little valley where the town of Carbon is nestled. It's a beautiful little place with about 650 people. It's a rockin' little town with an amazing nightlife. The nightclub activity here is nuts. You may want to avoid the red light district. It consists mostly of retired farm wives. Not really great to look at. Luckily for me, my brother lives on the correct side of the tracks. Not too much crime over here. Once I dropped off my gear and got settled in, it was time for the three of us to hit the road and take another little tour of Carbon. Very picturesque. Since it was only early afternoon, we decided to head out for a little tour and get some riding in. We're not too far from the Badlands and Drumheller, and there's actually some beautiful canyons to ride through in this area. Of course, in order to get there, you have to ride through the prairies first, but since we all grew up on the prairies, we still find these beautiful places to ride. As we descend into this canyon, all of these multicolored layers of rocks you see are approximately 75 million years old. They are full of dinosaur bones. There's a really great museum out here called the Royal Tyrrell Museum that has many of these dinosaurs all in complete forms on display for you to look at. Once we get to the bottom of the canyon, there's a nice little river that's been cutting through here for tens of thousands of years, exposing all these rocks. This is the Red Deer River. After a little bit of sightseeing, we decided it was time to head back. We had some steaks that we were going to barbecue that night, and I was looking forward to that. After a little bit of riding, we were descending back down into the same valley again, except in a different place. This road takes us down into Drumheller, which is the main town in the area. In order to get back to my brother's house, we have to ride along part of the South Dinosaur Trail. This is a very picturesque highway that rides right along the Red Deer River right through the valley. Within this valley you'll find a few small communities. They're very beautiful, very good scenery. The only problem is when this river flooded back in 2013, I think they all took a lot of damage. Just finished a nice little ride at my brother's house. We're parked for the evening, as you can see there. Time for a drink. Give that a quick slice and just make sure that's done the way you want it. Ah, son of a man, it's hot. Way too damn fast. Just put it on there. We're gonna back. What we getting there, eh? There you go. Gentlemen. Too evil. Yeah. is my older brother's backyard. This is kind of wildlife we get.
At 7, we'll come back and tell you 6 at night. 6 at night, so it's flying over there.
So, Daryl, obviously not next year, but at your earliest convenience, within the next decade or so, we got to go down to Sturgis. It's a damn good time.
You love it.
I'm sure this is the same son of a bitch that was hammering on my chimney the other day. Follows me around, irritates me.
For today's outing, we're going to start with a historic little town called Delia before we move on to a place called Big Valley. Here they have a replica of an old grist mill. This was used to grind grain into feed for animals, pump water, or do a variety of other tasks. They've also managed to keep many of their old buildings. Some of these have been refurbished for modern day use. After exploring Delia for a few minutes, we decided it was time to head up to Big Valley. In Big Valley they have a steam train that runs down from Stettler to Big Valley, and at the end of it you can have a lunch and there's all kinds of things to explore. It's a great thing to do during the summer. In Big Valley there's a lot of historical artifacts from the steam train era, much of it dating back to the early 1900s. When you take the Prairie Railway excursion from Stettler, this is the station it stops at in Big Valley. They even have this neat boardwalk area where you can go in and buy some cool souvenirs. Most of them are handmade by the locals. There wasn't a lot to see in Stettler as it was too early in the season for the steam trains to be running. However, if you did take the trip, these are the cars you would get to ride on. After grabbing some fuel in Stettler, we decided to head back for another relaxing evening by the fire. It was really windy today for riding, so it was actually nice to get back to my brother's where we could sit back and relax with a nice drink. Woohoo! Made it past where I got stranded last year.